You know, instead of waging wars all across the world, instead of a $1.5 trillion war budget, instead of war on Iran, war on Gaza, war on Lebanon, war on Syria, war on Yemen, war on Russia, so on and so forth, they say, how about another bridge? How about another program to help rural farmers? How about another infrastructure project to serve this community of, 1,000 or 2,000 rural farm workers in a region that was previously disconnected from the entire country? And that's why China is succeeding. It's really simple, actually.
中国用3年半2.8亿美元建成世界最高桥。美国重建一座坍塌的桥，预算50亿美元，却连设计都没完成。这位美国博主站在贵州大桥上当场破防。美国到底把钱花到哪里去了？中国一座桥直接把3-4小时的山路压缩到3-4分钟，让农民、货物和偏远村庄彻底走出大山。更打脸的是，这不是为了炫耀工程奇迹，而是为了服务几千名普通人。一边把巨额预算投入战争，一边把资金变成桥梁、道路和真实生活，这才是他最无法接受的反差。所以他最后直言，中国不是在追赶未来，而是西方还没反应过来，中国已经活在未来。真正可怕的差距，可能不是谁更有钱，而是谁能把钱真正变成普通人的生活。接下来，让我们跟随外国博主的镜头，看看这座中国大桥为什么让他开始怀疑西方讲了几十年的故事。
We are here at the tallest bridge in the world. It is the Huajiang Gorge Bridge in Guizhou, China. Absolutely stunning. 2 times larger than the tallest bridge in America. 2 times taller than the Eiffel Tower. 1.4 times the size of the Empire State Building. And all of this was built in 3.5 years with a price tag of $280 million. It turned what was a 3 to 4 hour trip into a 3 to 4 minute drive across this bridge. It made it extremely easy for farmers, for rural workers, for migrant workers, for transportation, trade, cargo, livestock transportation, tourists to travel here across this region in Guizhou. We saw it last night. There was a light show that took place. It takes place every night at around 7:30. I can show you a video of it now. It was spectacular. There was like hundreds of people out here watching it. There's a hotel on the other side of the bridge, and we actually had the privilege to stay there. It's a magnificent 5-star hotel. We are here at the Huajiang Canyon Bridge Hotel. We woke up to this. I can show you the view from where we woke up this morning. If you want to stay there, I highly suggest you do, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit. It's actually not open to the public yet, but we had the honor to stay there. It was super cool. And it really makes you wonder. It's like, why can't we do stuff like this in America? It's because we have a government that does not actually serve its people, and we have an economic system that prioritizes profit above all else. Why on earth would a private company invest in something like this? They wouldn't be able to. There'd be no way in the short term for them to turn a profit. And in the long term, the profit is seen by way of the fuel prices that are saved, by the increased trade. And that's only beneficial to a state that has, again, a lot of government ownership, state ownership, that provides for its people through a myriad of government programs and amazing public works aid and programs and structures that we've covered here on this trip in part. This is why China has been able to lift 890 million people out of poverty over the last 40 years. In Guizhou, this province alone, they lifted 9.2 million people out of poverty over the span of 8 years. And they did it with projects like this, the other bridges in the region, and some of the other topics that we covered in our videos on this trip. All right, everybody, we are currently on top of and walking across the Huajiang Grand Canyon Bridge, and we are very high up. We are very high up. We're going to be seeing a lot more. This is an incredible feat of human engineering. Nothing like it on the face of the earth. I'm trying not to look down because I don't want to see down below me. I'm not afraid of heights, but this is just kind of crazy. Chris, you are here, the tallest bridge in the world. We are here in Guizhou, China. This is the Huajiang Gorge Bridge. The tallest bridge in America is the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado. I think they wanted to one-up them on the name as well.
They certainly did one-up them. This is an architectural engineering masterpiece, of course. And I feel, look at this. Here I am. I'm on crutches here, and I feel like I'm airborne again. Here we are. This is amazing. This is unbelievable. And China did this in 3 years. We're still trying to fix the bridge that collapsed in the East Coast. 3 years, and they were able to build the tallest and one of the most structurally sound bridges in the world. Unbelievable.
not only is this the tallest bridge in the world, it is also the longest suspension bridge in a mountainous region. And you know, that's part of the difficulty of building this. I'm trying to block the mic as we film because it is so windy. You know, there are other tall bridges in the world, sure, yes, but the terrain here, mountainous terrain, I mean, the wind, there's a giant river below, there's a whole lot of things that could go wrong in building a structure like this, but there was not a single injury, not a single death in the construction of this bridge. What do you think about this, Nelly? Tallest bridge in the world.
That is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's so cool. That's it.
We are here with Secretary Xu, our comrade. She's the secretary of the Huazhong County Party Committee. We're also enjoying some local Huazhong noodles. Is that?
Yes, Huangjiang rice noodles.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're spicy.
It's spicy. No, not spicy. Maybe you can have a
We'll see.
try.
All right, so this is the local cuisine. Huazhong spicy noodle. Very good. Spicy. It is spicy.
Spicy?
Yes. Yes. Very good. We love Guizhou. We love this bridge. We love China. Everyone come check it out. This is such a crazy view. This bridge 9 times taller than the Golden State Bridge in San Francisco. It's 8 times taller than the Statue of Liberty. And across the entire bridge, it's about 10,000, a little bit less than 10,000 feet. Between the two main supports of this bridge, it's about 4,700 feet across. So that's the main span of the bridge. A little over 2,000 feet from the bottom of the river down there. So it's absolutely massive. You would not want to fall off the bungee cord. You would not want to, they have like a wooden bridge you can walk across. I'm like, I'm definitely not doing that. I do the bungee jump before I did the wooden bridge. And pretty much everyone, all the expert engineers, they agree that in any other country, this would take like 5 to 10 years to build. In America, maybe 50 years, maybe just it's never going to get ever built at all. Because starting in the early 2000s, you know, we started this idea of high-speed rail and we spent over $100 billion on it. And there's like not a single mile of high-speed rail that's been built. So maybe just like this stuff never comes to the United States. I don't know. But here, again, 3.5 years. 3.5 years it took them to build this. The Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, which partially collapsed 2 years ago this month. It hasn't even been reconstructed yet. 70% of the design work is only done. They haven't even completed the designs yet. They're saying that best case scenario, it's going to be done by 2030 and it's going to have a $5 billion price tag. This bridge costed $280 million. How does any of this make sense? China is the future. China is living in the future. Communism works. China is proof of that. I don't know what else to say. Americans need to realize, and people in the West need to realize that the biggest lie that the government has ever sold us is that communism is evil and doesn't work. If that's true, what is China? You know? And if you don't want to call it communist, be ignorant, but let's just adopt the same thing in America. How about that? You don't have to call it communism if you want to be like a boomer or something, but let's adopt the same principle in America because clearly it works. It's spectacular. You know, instead of waging wars all across the world, instead of a $1.5 trillion war budget, instead of war on Iran, war on Gaza, war on Lebanon, war on Syria, war on Yemen, war on Russia, so on and so forth, they say, how about another bridge? How about another program to help rural farmers? How about another infrastructure project to serve this community of, 1,000 or 2,000 rural farm workers in a region that was previously disconnected from the entire country. And that's why China is succeeding. It's really simple, actually. People make it seem as though leading a country, Trump has so many difficult questions to answer and so many difficult problems to solve. And it's actually like, no, he's actually just creating a bunch of problems. He's doing whatever he can. And the same is true about Biden. If it was Kamala, well, instead of just war in Iran, we'd probably also be bombing Moscow as well. So this is a country that prioritizes its people, and it is proof that communism works. And if you say, well, it's not communism, I encourage you to come here and check it out yourself because it's all communists that built this stuff. It's communists that dreamed up the 5-year plans that made this all possible. It's communists that built the water canals in the Tunji village in the Guizhou region in Sunyi County that we saw yesterday. They built that by hand over the course of 36 years with no heavy machinery. They're the ones who did this. We met with all of the party committee members and chairwomen and chairmen who represent these regions, and it's through their drive for prosperity, for growth, and for developing this country into something beautiful where all people can live a good life that stuff like this becomes possible. In America, we have, a capitalist class. We have an Epstein regime that prioritizes Wall Street, shareholder revenue, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, Lockheed Martin, all these companies. That's what their priorities are. Here, it is much, much different. When we first came out to China, I asked the question, how does the Long March and the spirit of the Long March serve the vision and serve the common drive of the people of China today? And I have to say that basically each and every place that we stopped on this trip, each and every street that we turned down, I found my answer. It's a drive that has led people to achieve the unthinkable, the impossible. And people are taught the history of the Long March from a very young age. It is embraced in all the schooling. Unlike in America, how our greatest moments of American history are tossed aside and we're told to forget them, or we're told to hate America and our history. In China, there's a strong patriotic bond with the revolutionary principles that were instilled through the discipline of the Communist Party and embraced in the unthinkable Long March. We see that yesterday when we went to the water canals in the Sunyi Greater City region that were built over the span of 36 years, etched by hand in the cadre of the Communist Party of China. We see that with the farmers who are able to establish new trade routes into cities to connect their farms, their lands that they are very proud of, their agricultural goods, with the people in Guiyang, capital city of the Guizhou province. And of course, we see it here today at the Huajiang Gorge Bridge, which is the tallest bridge in the world. But it should not be forgotten, 9 of the top 10 largest bridges in the world are here in China. 5 of the top 10 tallest bridges in the world are here in the Guizhou province. And this is all being done to serve the needs of the farmers, the agricultural workers, the migrant workers, and the citizens who live here. It's unthinkable that a government would ever do anything for 3,000, 5,000 villagers or rural farm workers. But here in China, they do the unthinkable for populations as small as that and to serve their needs. And it's because of the simple principles that were fought for in the Long March. To fight for prosperity, to fight for a government that represents and serves the needs of the people, and overcoming all obstacles, all odds in the process to achieve that goal. When we sat down with the veterans of the People's Liberation Army in Sunyi City, where the Sunyi Conference took place, in which Mao Zedong established his military and political prowess in the midst of the Long March, I asked this veteran, I asked the cadre who've been a part of this party for 60 years, what is it that made the Long March possible? What is it that makes China possible? And he said, we remember what it was like before. We remember the dark horrors, the darkest times, harassment from the landlords, the torture that was imposed upon us from, the upper echelons of this feudal society. We remember that, and we say never again, we'll never return to that. We're fighting for something better. And that's what they're fighting for today. That is the spirit of the Long March. That is the spirit embraced by Mao Zedong. That is the spirit embraced by Deng Xiaoping. That is the spirit embraced by Xi Jinping. And that is the spirit that will be embraced by all Chinese leadership in the future, as it is accountable to the people, something that is unique to this country, socialism with Chinese characteristics. And that's why it is so successful. So I gotta say, I'm absolutely inspired after traveling here. I am left learning so much and also having many more questions, which means I need to come back and learn more. And I encourage you all to come out here and do the same. Obviously, our great friends at China Not Just Travel, they were the ones who brought me out here. And I encourage you all to check them out online because they do terrific trips. You're not just gonna get some BS culture stuff, some basic tourism. You're going to get a profound understanding of China that only leaves you wanting more. Thank you so much, China Not Just Travel. Thank you, China, for the warm and hospitable time that you showed us. And we'll be back again very soon. I'd like to thank my good friends at China Not Just Travel for inviting me out on this amazing visit to Guizhou, China. And if you would like to visit Guizhou or any other place in China for that matter, click the link at the top of the description, ChinaNotJustTravel.com. They are the best in the business. I've known them for years. I have, traveled the world with the crew who leads China Not Just Travel, and now I'm so thankful that I was able to visit China with them one more time, but this time we went out of Shanghai, obviously all across Guizhou. They offer a myriad of amazing trips. They have an iconic China trip, a wellness trip, Red China, Kung Fu China. They have a China summer school, and they even have like business opportunities. You can go on an AI trip in China. They literally know everyone in China, and they are there to help you. So you can go to ChinaNotJustTravel.com, inquire on their website, click the Inquire Now button if you have any questions, you have ideas as to what you might want to see in China. They're going to give you the 101, answer anything you might have questions about, and walk you through the fundamentals of traveling in China. And while you're there, they're going to be with you and give you an experience that you will never forget. I recommend everyone travel to China at least once in their life. But the truth is, if you travel once to China, you're going to want to go back many more times. So ChinaNotJustTravel.com. Thank you so much for having me, and I recommend that you all take a visit to China too, and there's no one else to do it with but China Not Just Travel. I want to say a special thank you to my good friends at Discover Guizhou. They organized this trip. They were there with us along the way, and I had a terrific time. I know I'll be back again very soon. I'm sure many of my friends will be traveling along next time as well.
照出的不只是中美基建速度，更是两种完全不同的发展逻辑。一边是3年半建成，服务普通人；另一边是50亿美元设计仍未完成。你认为真正拉开差距的是技术、效率，还是钱到底花在了哪里？欢迎点赞、评论、订阅，因为这座桥背后还有更多让外国博主不敢相信的中国现实。